Peace and blessings, dear family. All is well. All is in divine order. You know, I get these days a lot of offers to kind of go out and follow people's lead in changing, our environment. And I just don't have that kind of energy these days because I see that we go out and we may yell, we may scream, we may ask people to change the environment and change our communities, but we really don't inspire and encourage people to change because the environment is based on our aura. The environment is based on who we are. And until we change, then our communities won't change. So the easiest thing is for us to get out and talk about how people need to do this for us, XYZ. But what's much harder is that we become a kind of person that is able to maneuver in this society and become successful, and then not only change ourselves, but through changing ourselves, change our environment. Now, how important is it for us to know our place? Actually, that's 90% of the job. 90% of the problem is us not knowing why we are here. And as they say, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. When people know where they're going in life, when people understand what their position is, they don't give into the okey doke. Nobody can make us do something that is against our will when we know what we're here for. So I just want to take a few moments and give another angle. Now, in the Black community, a lot of people are saying stop the violence. But violence is not just a Black person problem. Violence is a problem, period. It's a human condition problem. And to be honest with you, the less we're in a situation that could cause us to lose our lives, the better. Now, we might die anyway, but the more we're on purpose and the more we're on mission, we evade things happening to us that would happen to most of us that don't know where we're supposed to be or what we're supposed to be doing. That's facts. Now, mission and purpose is important. Let me start with purpose first. Let me give a concrete example with purpose. I have keys, and each key opens a specific door. If I don't know the specific key, I'm going to try every key until I open that door. That's because I don't have knowledge of which key opens which door. That's knowledge. Without knowledge, we don't understand how to make it in life, how to open the door. And knowledge is just not exactly book knowledge. That's a certain kind of knowledge. But people, brothers, will tell you there's street knowledge. There's knowledge of, what's good for us and what's bad for us. Knowledge, knowledge, knowledge. And we can never have enough knowledge in this world. The more knowledge we soak in, the better we become. So ignorance, is our biggest killer. So how important is it for us to be on mission and understand our purpose? Well, when we understand our mission and purpose, that's what causes us to make choices. Now, this is not a muck mud school day for me, but because muck mud is important, the children coming here is important. The GED programs are important. The homeschool is important. Then most of my choices have to go to my mission. And we don't understand that no two people have the same mission. So it's selfish of us to think that we have the right to direct somebody else's mission. Everybody has to know what they're here for and why they're here. Or if we don't understand why we're here, we make wrong decisions. Now, when I used to go into prisons and talk, brothers used to ask me, what if my mission is not a positive one? Ain't no such thing. All of us have a mission that is for our good. That's why it's called a mission. It's for our elevation, our upliftment, our procurement. And every decision we make is based on what mission we're on. I had gotten an offer to be at a school, to work at a school. Now I got to think about it. That's a great offer. But I can't make my offer just on money because I got to look at the fact, is this in line with the mission that I chose? So all of my choices, they fall in line with my mission. And if I make a choice of stupidity, that throws me off my mission. Most of us just don't know what we're supposed to be doing, where we're going. And so to keep yelling, stop the violence, instead of working on the internal individual and making the individual better is non-productive. This is why a lot of us don't really get better sometimes until we're put in a situation, prison, or we find some type of spiritual calling, or we begin now to meet other people and those other people support us that we can find a better way. It has nothing to do with the environment. Some of it does, but a lot of it has to do with the fact that we don't know our place in the world. Do you know even your relationships, love relationships? Listen, they got this thing now on social media where brothers can, if they want, indulge. They can get on OnlyFans. They can meet a woman online on IG. They can do everything that they want to do. But my question is, when you're young, I understand because attraction is powerful. And we're not going to meet people until we get out there in the world. But the reason why I don't believe in like cold approach and, hey, baby, what's up? Hey, baby. My thing is, if you're on your mission and you're on your purpose, you're aligned with people that are going in the same direction that you're going in. You know how important it is to have the right woman in your life? You know how important it is to have the right friends in your life? You're not going to have the right friends in your life, the right partner in life, until you know where you're going, until you know your mission. So most of our work, especially up to the ages of 20, 21, 22, is to try things out, to find out what our mission is. And then we need guidance. And that guidance can't be people yelling at us, telling us to stop the violence. That guidance got to be a school. Whether that school of thought is Christianity or Islam or some African spirituality, or it is some type of business, everybody needs to get in line with some principles that we can follow, that we can stay on the path and on mission. And the problem is, we don't know where we're going. So somebody could just say to you, yo, look, man, I know you don't know where you're going. I got something for you to do. But not when you're on mission and on purpose. When you're on mission and on purpose, all your decisions are lined up with that. That's why I keep teaching, especially the brothers, your mission is first. Your mission is before the relationships that you got. Because the quality of your relationships come out of that mission. Everybody we admire is on mission. Even the doggone comedian, the comedian that's telling jokes. That comedian can't stay a comedian if he hollers at the wrong person and sexually harasses somebody. That comedian can't remain a comedian if they pull out a gun and if they shoot somebody. That comedian can't remain a comedian if they mishandle and misappropriate funds. So your mission is what gives you the decisions that you got to make. So that's what we find first. Now, how about violence in the Black community, predominantly? Well, who's killing each other? Black men. I don't know. Maybe some sisters are rolling up in the community talking about, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to shoot you. I don't see that often. I see young, black men killing each other. Those black men in need of mission and purpose. Big up to the Nation of Islam, because at the age of 18, I didn't know my mission and purpose either. Though I am not a active, involved member of any religion, I found some at the right age. And it was at that tender age of 18 that I found brothers. I was looking for groups of brothers. And so when I looked on every corner, I saw brothers congregating on Stratford Avenue. You know, brothers was lighting up some. You know what I mean? They was hanging out. But then I saw brothers from the NOI. They wasn't lighting up something, but they were coming together in packs because young men like strength. And at a certain time in their life, if they don't have that strength at home with their uncles and their fathers, they go looking for it. And if they find it, that's why the gang is not really about gang activity. It's about finding a family. It's about finding strength. And black men, young black men, recognize strength. I don't care what you say, they like strength. And if brothers are strong, either strong in doing crime or strong in doing something else, they're looking for strength. You can talk all you want. I know what it's like to be a young black man, and I know that young black men are looking for strength. And so if they go to a church and find it, they're going to be okay. If they go to a mosque and find it, they're going to be okay. I found mine in the NOI. And at that time, there were brothers 19, 20, 21. Some of the brothers came from the dope den. Some of the brothers came from college. Some of the brothers came from a broken situation, but we found strength in each other because that's what we like to do, travel in packs. You see these brothers, man, they shifting down Stratford Avenue, Dixwell Avenue. They on bikes, dirt bikes. It's not about the dirt bikes. It's about the pack. It's about finding strength. And if they wheelie and they together, a brother signal to a brother, they find strength. And if somebody come and attack the pack, they'll fight everybody in the pack. Because we are looking for some type of solidarity, some strength. So my thing is, stop just telling them, stop the violence. We got to understand that it's group against group. Street against street. And until we can find somebody to go in there and help turn around the person from the inside out. Now, definitely there's going to be some brothers who don't want to hear nothing. That's just being young and stupid. I don't want to hear nothing nobody got to tell me until they sit in a jail cell or their homie die. Now they're thinking. But for the most part, if we can't produce a structure where young men can find their tribe and their vibe, and you ain't stopping nothing. Now, another approach that we had was at one time, I remember I was in the NOI and we were in Los Angeles. And I'm from the East Coast. I go down to New York. I go down to Connecticut, New Jersey. But I didn't really understand what Bloods and Crips looked like until I got to Los Angeles and I saw 200 brothers or so on one block. But brothers can't leave their block. And if they leave, they better be traveling with a pack themselves. That's black men in America, man. So when you see these brothers on bikes and they travel and they together, they done found their vibe and their tribe. So until you produce something that is better, and the only thing you can do is get to individuals and help them improve. Now, men We don't just get together to do a lot of socializing. We usually get together with for a cause or what we think is a cause. So young men that are wearing a certain color, that to them is the end thing. Hanging on a certain block, that's the end thing. It might be certain motorcycles. It might be dirt bikes. But there's a certain stage that young men just like to kick it with each other like that. Sometimes it's sports. So my suggestion is this. We've got to find more groups where brothers can find strength. Now, when I was growing up, the NOI was a group. The Hebrew Israelites were a group. If you in Bridgeport, the brothers in the Brotherhood and Nation, not the NOI, but the Pump Nation was a group. Young men still kick it like that. They still like to travel, you know what I mean, in packs. And you have to understand the history of Black people. We were never allowed to congregate within a certain number. And so when they see a certain number of Black men together, we look like a threat. So one of the ways that we stop violence is by having young men find out what their mission and their purpose is. Now, one of the ways I found out what I was supposed to do is I stumbled into it because I happened to be with a group of brothers that were going places and doing things. So I'm saying to all of my OGs, we can't fight, we can't, cry, stop the violence, and we're not creating something. It's so much easier to tear down and destroy. It's so much easier to protest and ask government. But we got to create some things that our youth can do in packs, especially young brothers, teenagers. Now, I love sports. Sports is one. I also love the fact that I wanted to create job experiences, shadowing experiences in the trades. So all of the brothers that have a trade, let us try to have young men, you know what I mean, shadow us so that they can see how to make dough and make a living and give them a little piece of change somehow, show them how to make some money. To the rest of us, we've got to find these programs in the middle of the day and in the early evening. At one time, they had midnight basketball. And they had a correlation that midnight basketball cut down on the violence in the community. Why? Because that 16 to 20-year-old group, they like, you know what I mean? Houdini used to say the freaks come out at night. We come out at night. And so given some activity, I know they want curfew, but give them something to do. The other thing is, am I against partying? Am I against clubbing? To a certain degree? But we also have a young adolescent population that has to be given something to do in the evening that's safe, in numbers, and secure. These are all the ideas that I think I have on the mental. Knowing that young men like groups, they like packs, they make decisions based on their mission. And until they really find their mission, we got to give them something to do while teaching them to find their mission, their aim, and their purpose. For me, it was hanging out with brothers on the block selling Final Call newspapers. For other brothers, it was coming out together, riding their motorcycles. For other brothers, it was playing sports. For other brothers, it was a trade. But we got to think about young Black men and what young Black men like, and they haven't stopped liking to come together in packs, groups. Let's produce some. Let's get with some. So on that note, It's one thing to say, let's stop, but it's another thing to create an alternative and to create a way for us to come together. I don't know where I'd be if the NOI didn't have a group of brothers that were in the street in numbers. It wasn't them saying, come on, man, let me teach you some religion. I wasn't interested in that like that. I was interested to see that these brothers were strong. They worked out. They were militant. They were groups. They didn't believe in being soft. They weren't no punks, but they turned that energy over that they used to create havoc in the streets to do something else. Now, as a brother almost 50, my mentality is different. But what I'm saying to y'all is our brothers, they travel in packs and they're looking for strength. We can get all the way up in that. If we create something for groups of young black men to come and be involved in. That's for recreation. That's for having fun. That's for working. That's for learning. That's for job and shadowing experiences. Peace and blessings, my dear family. Again, we got to create some alternatives. And I'd like to say, a lot of brothers that are creating some ways, they don't all agree, but they create in some ways. Big up to John Lett. Big up to Anthony Marshall. Big up to Kingsley Osei. Big up to those who got groups of young men coming together in packs and learning to stop the violence, but not just having them stop the violence, having them move out so that they utilize their time productively. So as long as they're moving, as long as they're doing something and utilizing their time productively, they're going to do something else besides violence. Peace and blessings, my dear family. Love y'all. Just giving y'all some inspiration and some ideas. Muhammad, right now, we're also offering GED classes. We are also offering some education for brothers that are returning and sisters that are returning citizens. But I'm saying to those of us that are here, we gotta, the dirt bikes and the brothers that ride dirt bikes, we need to create a place for them where they can ride, where they can be together. To have 5-0 always roll up on them. I love the unity. I love the group. I love to see 1920 brothers strong, just riding. There's something in that. They're not hurting anybody. But if we're afraid of them weaving in between cars, you know what I mean? We got to create a track. We got to create a space for them. They might weave and bob anyway, but showing that we love and we care, we want to see them together riding. That's something that we could do. You understand what I'm saying? Continue summer league sports. That's something that we can do. So on that note, peace and blessings. As a parent calling me, love y'all. Hi, Mrs. Commodore.